still going to the gym. I've been going quite a bit lately. And when I first started, I just, I've lifted weights a long time ago in the past, but generally I know a few different things like with free weights and stuff. I'm fine, right? Not all encompassing. Also, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. Like, just go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
And I made a mistake because I was like kind of organizing kind of how I'm separating different workouts. And I understand I'm not working every part of my body, but I was like, Reddit has been helpful in the past in a lot of different ways. So what if I like asked one of the gym or workout subreddits, be like, hey, here's what I'm doing. What would you recommend or change or add? Like, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a mistake because I posted and essentially what I got was nope. Like these people were pretty much an asshole to me that were just like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not even like lifting for this muscle and this muscle. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware. It's kind of like why I like,
yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's kind of why I came here and said, here's what I'm doing. And here's the muscles I know I'm working. And what input do you have? And it was essentially, I was blown away. It was like kind of a shocking experience because a lot of the subreddits, when I've asked questions in the past, have really been helpful. Computer stuff, like people are just like, you don't know what you're doing? Let me help you. And these people were just mean. And this one particular person just went after me. And finally I responded to him because I didn't really engage. I was just like, listen, man. And then I just responded. I was like, you seem nice. Sorry for bothering you. I hope your day gets better. And then I just like laughed because I was like,
what did they say to you that was?
It was basically just like, what the fuck you think is going to happen? You're only working 4 muscles. And I'm like, I came to you for any advice. And like, you're not you still haven't provided me any advice to help. Like,
right.
Anyway, so the internet's still bad and be careful out there. Also, like there has to be some happy medium. Like, because the general responses, maybe it was just the wrong subreddit, but the general responses was just like, yeah, you need to be working every muscle. And it's like, motherfucker, I don't have time. I'm not at the gym every day. Like, that's not even possible. So like, I'm trying to like dial this in to the best of my ability for the time I have to do. But
yeah, I mean, it's tough because I feel like that's Reddit. Right. Like that's Reddit. Like
for sure.
You're absolutely right that you get nice people that are, and it depends on the subreddit. Like you're going to find people that are genuinely into what they're into and they want to help these people through, that might not know as much about it. I think with, bodybuilding and things like that. I don't know what subreddits you were in, but
I think it was like gym, just gym.
Our gym.
Also, Jim NSFW, they mean it. Don't bother with that.
Why would you think that they didn't mean it?
I don't know, but I can assure you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
As advertised.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to single out gym people.
It's a certain demographic. We can understand like that a good portion of those people are like meatheads or whatever you want to.
Yeah, like vain.
Yeah.
Vain is probably the word to describe it. You're like hyper focused on your appearance and sculpting your appearance. And I think that you, not always, but sometimes you can lose sight of the things that really matter. And then if you get, a person that comes in that's just like earnestly asking for help, you would hope that it would be like, look, man, this is what you need to do. But like, ultimately it just gives those people that are like completely baked into the lifestyle and out to just be fucking assholes. And that's not unique to bodybuilding. That happens in gaming, which we're very familiar with all the time.
Gatekeeping, essentially. That's what it is, right? I was just blown away because I was just like, listen, like I get it. Like I gave you my 3 separate muscles that I'm working on different days, and you're just like, you suck. It's like, okay, thanks. I don't like.
Thanks for the tip, bro.
It's just like I don't.
Yeah.
Like what did we achieve here? Like I hope you feel better. I don't feel better.
Yeah. And yeah, man. I mean, you're dealing with a certain subset of people that can be tough to deal with. So I don't know. I actually commend you for having enough balls to like go in those places. Like
I don't care anymore.
I'm
It's like,
definitely it's not that I really care. It's just that like I don't want to do it. Like I would rather find other means to seek help outside of Reddit.
and I
Um
found, I mean, there's a billion websites, right? So
yeah.
there's so
I'm
much
like
stuff.
I'm like a wallflower when it comes to like everything like social media. I'm not a social media
Sure.
guy. I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
You just, yeah.
I'm just not talking.
I mean, most things you're just like, I saw that thing you posted. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm there. I'm absolutely there. But I am not. I don't engage. I don't post.
Yeah.
I'm largely pretty absent in our Discord as well. It just is not something that appeals to me. It's not something that I enjoy. And so for me, I just like to kind of sit back and kind of watch. And I absolutely am on Reddit all the fucking time, and I see the discourse in Reddit on certain topics that just makes my skin fucking crawl. Which like, not that I
It's
was like going to. I'm not on the fence like.
no,
With my
there's
phone
a
in my
certain,
hands, like I'm gonna send this, like
there's
but
this,
it de-incentivizes me.
there's, I mean, it's not just Reddit, but across the board, there's just this feeling of community where some people are just like, well, the thing I do is that I love this thing. And as soon as someone else talks about it, I make sure to let them know they're wrong. And it's just like, well, why you do that? Like, why is that the way a lot of people operate within these spaces? It's just like, oh yeah, that person's so stupid. And I mean, that could absolutely happen to the podcast as well. Like we come here and we talk as experts on some things, medium like or low info on these, and we're just like putting our information out. And people can show up that know everything. Like the Destiny talk is a really good example where someone who's been invested in Destiny the entire time could be like, these people are fucking stupid. Here's why. Like, sure, but like, I mean, play it for 900 hours, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, it also
what
doesn't
is-
invalidate our experiences that we lived,
For
right?
sure.
Like that's the thing. I think that's the most important point is like, also, if you're coming to our podcast and thinking that we're an expert on fucking anything we talk about,
You've made a mistake.
you have made a mistake. We definitely know things. We know things like anybody else on this earth. We know things, and we're passionate about things. We care about things, but also like, I think that this is like not necessarily something that we've really talked about before, but like I guess it's important to talk about it now that we're talking about it. It's like, yeah, I don't think that either of us come as like a uh, official, knowledge base of anything we talk about. We just talk about what we like. And
part of the problem that happened with just the internet in general is that there's always someone that has an unlimited amount of information on the one topic. So
Sure.
it's like, as people where we're like, well, we don't just do the one thing. You're always going to be trumped by this guy that's like, well, yeah, I've spent 100 times more on this thing. I know more about it. And you're like, yeah, because like that's all you did. Like you should have stopped playing Wave Race. What are you still doing? Like, I don't know what you're like. What
my big hang up with it is like, if you're passionate about something, isn't it better if you're like a conduit of knowledge and you share that knowledge with other people so that whatever you're passionate about gets better and more robust by you sharing that knowledge? If you really are that like aficionado, knows everything about a given topic, like why do you got to be a dick about it?
Right.
And gatekeep, like you said? Why can't you be the person that's like, I'm going to provide the knowledge that I know because I'm passionate about it. And yeah, like if you see somebody that's just like blatantly wrong, I think that there are tactful ways to correct people in any
Sure.
forum, whether it's the internet or in person, and still seem earnest and not like a dick.
Like
and
a
I think
giant
that
asshole.
yeah, and I think that that's the best thing, because like ultimately you're not taking into consideration how you're making that person on the other end of the screen in a Reddit situation feel when they come, like, again, like honestly looking for help and you shit all over them, that just de-incentivizes them to engage in whatever you're passionate about clearly. And, ultimately, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot by doing that. Like, wouldn't it make more sense to be like, oh, this person is interested in the same thing I am and they don't know as much as me, so let's help them.
It's like, even like, we talk about booze a lot, and it's like someone dips their toe and they're drinking a lot of Highland scotch or something.
Yeah.
And you're just like, noob, you should get some good shit. It's just like, no, there's plenty of good shit there.
Yeah.
And that's a great place to start. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Like, there's plenty to work with there. And let's talk about the complexities, and then let's show you the huge range here, right? Like,
Yep.
you need like
Definitely, dude.
it's that gatekeeping. That's the problem.
I for one have no problem being corrected on something. If one, you can prove that I'm wrong, and I'll accept it, and I'll keep it moving, and I'll be respectful to you as long as you're not a fucking asshole about it.
Yeah.
And again, there are ways to do it where you don't come off as a dick. You don't come off as this fucking like hoity-toity, I'm gonna put my fucking glasses up on my nose and actually this is the way it goes. Like, I have no tolerance for that shit. It just drives me insane. And like, even if you're right, like, I just immediately shut down because I just don't fundamentally, I don't agree with the way that you're coming out somewhat.
Sure.
Like, there are certain situations where that's absolutely appropriate. If like I'm being inflammatory and a giant dick about something and I'm wrong, like, yeah, come with the full force.
Yeah.
But if I am just the dude that maybe misspeaks about something unintentionally, or I'm not completely plugged into something, but I'm passionate about it, and you try to make me feel like a piece of shit for being a little bit wrong about something, fuck you, man.
It's really too bad. There's this expectation where you've got to be a master of all, right? Where it's just like, yeah, if you're going to say anything about any topic, you need to be 100% on point. It's like, well, like, how much time do you think I have for
It's
this?
just,
Like,
well, no,
like,
it's just
ridiculous.
It's unrealistic. That's not the way it is. Like, people are people. People are fallible. They make mistakes and they misspeak, and that's just the way we are as people. So, that baked into it, I think, is like the most important thing to think about when you're interacting with other people. And the worst part about this is that I think that it trickles into interactions in person, and that's when it becomes more problematic, because you get this keyboard warrior mentality that our modern society is kind of baked in through social media and platforms like Reddit, etc. And then you get into face-to-face interactions with people, and that's where you get stabbed. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stab you, but you act like a fucking asshole to certain people, and they're not going to put up with it. You know what I mean? And I think that people miss that because they get so conditioned to feel like I can just say whatever the fuck I want with no consequences. And there absolutely are consequences in certain scenarios and cases. And like, you just have to think through that, and some people do not, dude. And
that's how you get stabbed.
It's true. Maybe that's extreme. Maybe that's an extreme example, but yeah, I mean,
if you've been stabbed for your actions, please come in and join the Discord and let us know what you think caused it and how you could have reacted differently.
This is how it started. I was a giant cunt on Reddit for a solid 10 years. And then I went in person and was a giant cunt in person. And then I got stabbed. That's what's going to happen to you.